Nigga, back from the dead.
Who died? He's like, my career, but I'm coming back right now. Don't worry, I'm coming back right now. We got some new music on the way.
And I went #1 twice last year, so.
Did you?
Yeah, in fucking Peru. And like, no, I swear.
He's like in Ethiopia, dude. We were #1.
Listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you isn't gossip. It's not drama. It's not negativity. It's reality. You've seen it with your own eyes, time and time again. A rapper blows up out of nowhere. One summer they are everywhere, every playlist, every car stereo, every club, every Instagram story. They're wearing insane jewelry, popping bottles, private flights, designer everything, and they talk like they made it forever. And then, as fast as they came up, they disappear. Suddenly the chains are gone, the energy is gone, the entourage is gone, the money is gone. You check their socials, barely posting. You see them walking outside without security, no fancy car, no luxury watch, nothing left but memories and comments like, "Damn bro, what happened?" And you sit there thinking, how is that even possible? How do you go from millions of streams, fame, spotlight, money flowing like water, to nothing? How can someone who looked like they were winning suddenly look like they never had anything? Something must be wrong, right? Is it bad luck? Is it politics? Is the industry evil? Did someone steal from them? Were they irresponsible? And then the scarier question, could this happen to you? Because here's the truth people don't want to say out loud. The music industry is a brilliant machine, but it's also one of the most dangerous financial traps in entertainment. The industry doesn't need you to stay rich. It only needs you to stay famous long enough to milk your wave, squeeze your momentum, and then move on to the next viral face if you don't play the game correctly. And when you don't understand the business, when you don't understand money, when you don't understand how to turn fame into long-term value, you are disposable. Fame without financial literacy isn't power. It's a countdown clock. A ticking bomb disguised as success. Now, let's break this down without pausing, without sugarcoating, without trying to sound cute or polite. You want the truth, right? You want to learn something instead of being just another consumer watching other people rise and fall. So here it is. Most rappers never touch real wealth. They touch the illusion of wealth. They touch advances, not assets. They touch clout, not capital. They touch lifestyle, not longevity. And do you know why? Because when you come from nothing, when you spent your whole life dreaming about having something, the moment you get a little, you want to feel everything. You want to show the world that you did it. You want to silence the people who doubted you. You want to escape the hunger, the struggle, the pain. And for the first time in your life, you want to live like you matter. You want validation. And the industry knows that. The labels know that. The managers know that. The lawyers know that. The fans know that too, because they expect the flex. They expect the image. If you don't look rich, they don't believe you are. The pressure to perform wealth is insane, and that's the first trap. You're not spending to live, you're spending to prove you deserve to be seen. But here's where the plot gets darker. You think that when a rapper signs a deal, that means they just got rich. Wrong. A label advance is not a gift. It is not free money. It is a loan. Say it again. It is a loan, and one of the most expensive loans you will ever take in your life, because you don't just pay it back in money. You pay it back in ownership. You pay it back in control. You pay it back in years of your life. In albums you didn't want to make, in contracts you didn't fully understand, in the rights to your masters that could have fed your family forever. Labels don't invest in you because they love you. They invest in you because they expect a return. And if you don't know how to turn that advance into profit, guess who loses? You do. The label never loses. They have 10 more artists waiting to replace you anyway. And the thing is, when you get that first check, let's say it's $300,000, maybe $500,000, maybe if you're really buzzing it's $1 million, the first mistake artists make is thinking, I just made $1 million. No, you didn't. First, before you even breathe, taxes take almost half. Then your manager wants 10 to 20%, your lawyer wants their cut, your business manager takes theirs, your publicist takes theirs, your producers and engineers need to be paid, and the team that was around you when you were nobody feels entitled to eat too. And before you know it, that million is $200,000. Maybe less. And you didn't even pay for studio sessions yet, videos, travel, marketing, drip, promotion, jewelry, cars, apartments. And because you're in the spotlight, you have to maintain the look. You can't pull up in a Honda after flexing a Lamborghini in your last music video. The fans won't let you. So now you're locked into a lifestyle you can't afford, trying to look like a millionaire with money that isn't yours. And if the album doesn't hit, if the trend shifts, if the fans move on, if TikTok decides you're not relevant anymore, the label stops pushing you, the streams slow down, the algorithms don't care, and the world doesn't even ask where you went. It just forgets. Meanwhile, you still have bills, expectations, a lifestyle, pride, ego, and a contract you're stuck in. Who's responsible? A lot of people will say, the artist should have known better. But how? Nobody teaches financial literacy in the hood. Nobody teaches contract law in school. Nobody hands you a guide like, here's how to handle sudden fame and millions of dollars in predatory contracts all at the same time while your whole city expects you to save everyone. The industry preys on inexperience and impulse. And the artists, they're human. They make predictable human decisions. You can't blame the hungry kid for eating. Blame the system that feeds him poison disguised as food. And now the truth that stings. Where do most of these rappers end up after the spotlight fades? Some get regular jobs. Some go independent and fight to rebuild. Some end up depressed, broken, addicted, lost. Some go back to the streets. Some end up in jail. Some end up dead. You think I'm exaggerating? Look around. Look at history. Look at how many names we used to shout that we don't even whisper anymore. But here's where the power flips. And this is why you're here. Because you're not just watching this to feel sorry for anyone. You're watching because you want to know how you can avoid this fate. How you can turn opportunity into legacy, fame into fortune, a moment into a lifetime. You want to know how to play the game instead of being played by it. And trust me, you can. You absolutely can. There are artists who beat the system, who learned the game, who built wealth, who kept ownership, who invested, who turned one spotlight into generational power. It's not impossible. It's just rare, because only a few ever learn the rules. And now you're about to learn them. Because if you understand this story, truly understand it, you won't chase fame like it's oxygen. You'll chase leverage, control, knowledge. You won't let an advance impress you. You won't let chains blind you. You won't measure success by who claps for you. You'll measure it by who depends on you. And we are only just beginning to break this open. We're just starting to peel back the curtain. And as we go deeper, you're going to see exactly where the mistakes happen, who profits from them, how the psychology of fame destroys the unprepared, and most importantly, how you can build a different outcome, a smarter outcome, a future where you don't become another "what happened to him" story, but instead become someone who lasted, someone who built, someone who used the industry instead of being used by it, and someone who turned dreams into assets instead of debt, someone who stays rich long after the music stops. Because guess what? For most people, the music always stops eventually, but wealth doesn't have to, power doesn't have to, your story does not have to fade just because the algorithm moves on to its next victim. You can build differently. You can think long-term in a world addicted to short-term flashes. You can operate like a business while everyone else plays celebrity cosplay. Because that's what a lot of this is. Costume wealth. Costume power. Costume success. It looks real, it feels real, it smells real, but the moment you take the chain off, close the Instagram app, and the adrenaline fades, you realize some people never owned anything but the perception of winning. And perception doesn't pay bills. Perception doesn't take care of your mother. Perception doesn't build generational stability. And perception definitely doesn't protect you when the industry decides the next shiny face deserves your spot. See, the game isn't about who shines the brightest in the moment. It's about who holds value when the spotlight moves. The difference between a star and a spark. Sparks flash, stars stay. And now let's talk responsibility, because it's layered. The label plays a role, obviously. They are a business. Their job isn't to save you. Their job is to profit off you. And anyone who walks into that relationship thinking they care about me already lost. They don't care about you. They care about your momentum, your numbers, your relevance. Once those dip, loyalty evaporates. It's not personal. It's economics. And if you don't understand that, you will take every shift personally, emotionally, and financially. But the label isn't the only one. Friends, or the people who call themselves your friends, become financial parasites when you blow up. People who once supported you now expect to be carried by you. Everyone thinks they're entitled to a piece of your success, because they were there. Were they rapping? Did they sacrifice their peace, their privacy, their sanity for fame? No. But that doesn't stop them from stretching their hands out, waiting to eat off your plate. And then there's the streets. Let's not pretend that doesn't matter. Many artists come from environments where survival comes first, and loyalty to your block, your people, your origins feels sacred. So when you make it, you feel obligated to put everybody on. But here's the trap. You can love where you came from without letting it drain your future. You cannot save everyone. You cannot fund everyone's dreams. You cannot rescue people who don't want to rescue themselves. And if you try, the streets will take everything you earned faster than the label ever could. Not because people are evil, but because they're desperate. Desperation eats generosity for breakfast. But still, the artist holds responsibility too. This hurts to say, but it's true. You can't expect to survive a billion-dollar industry without knowledge. You can't expect to maintain millions if you've never been taught how to manage hundreds. You can't expect discipline to magically appear just because your bank account temporarily looks healthy. Fame exposes you. It doesn't change you. If you were impulsive before, fame amplifies it. If you were insecure before, fame magnifies it. If you never learned money, fame weaponizes your ignorance. And if you don't learn the business learns you and uses you. So where do fallen rappers end up? Some reinvent themselves. Salute to them. Some pivot into business, tech, real estate, media, and they win quietly after the noise fades. Others, you see them trying to recreate their old era, chasing nostalgia, hoping the world cares again. But music fans move on fast. They don't wait. That's why trends are traps. Don't chase viral, chase value. Viral is rented attention. Value is earned allegiance. And that difference right there, that's where wealth grows. Because if you can build real value, you don't need the algorithm. People come find you. They follow you across platforms. They buy from you without promo. They trust you. And trust is worth more than streams, more than plaques, more than chain flexes and club tables and fake applause. Now, let's pivot you, because this isn't a documentary, this is a manual disguised as a story. You're watching because you don't want to be another broken dream, another cautionary tale, another damn he had potential conversation. You're here because you want to do it right. So listen, if you ever blow up, or even before you blow up, or even if you never become famous but you build in silence, treat yourself like a company, not a celebrity. Before a car, create a corporation. Before a chain, build credit. Before flexing, file your taxes. Before showing success, structure success. Before the lifestyle, create longevity. Because the labels aren't the enemy. Ignorance is. Pride is. Ego is. Lifestyle addiction is. You can beat the machine, but only if you stop acting like fuel for it. Own yourself. Own your masters. Own your future. Negotiate like you expect to be here 10 years from now, not 10 months. Sign smart or stay independent until you have leverage. Invest early. Learn accounting. Build a team you pay because they're qualified, not because they're familiar. And most importantly, don't buy luxury until your investments can buy luxury for you. Because here's what the successful ones do. They turn their first hit into a business. They use fame as a launchpad, not a finish line. They take that advance and flip it into equity. They buy property, not chains. They build brands, not just hype. They let money multiply in silence instead of dying loudly in public. And let me make this clear. Wealth isn't about the price tag, it's about the exit plan. A diamond chain doesn't matter if you can't pay property tax. A Lamborghini means nothing if your kids inherit debt. If the only thing you own is your image, then when your relevance fades, you have nothing left. But if you own assets, if you own intellectual property, if you own land, if you own your name legally and financially, if you build revenue streams that don't rely on fame, you will be good forever. You won't fear the spotlight disappearing, because you won't depend on it to live. That's freedom. That's power. That's the real flex. And most people will never experience it because they confuse attention with achievement. Don't be them. Build smarter. Move wiser. Think bigger. Fame is the beginning, not the goal. Wealth is quiet, legacy is long, and your future deserves more than a season of clout. And we're not done. We're just building momentum. Now we go deeper. Now we break down the psychology of fame, the trap of ego, the predatory contracts, the financial blueprint you need, the hidden ways labels profit, the path to independence, the mindset that protects you, the strategy that sustains you, and the playbook to make sure you never end up another name people use as a cautionary meme. You are not going to fade. You are going to last. You are going to endure, to evolve, to expand beyond music, beyond hype, beyond whatever moment tries to define you. But before you can own the future, you have to understand the psychological traps that destroy artists from the inside out, long before the money disappears. Because the fall doesn't start the day the bank account hits zero. It starts the day the ego convinces you that status replaces strategy, that attention equals achievement, that applause equals stability. And the industry knows this. They know most artists crave validation more than they crave ownership. They know that a fresh chain can blind you more than a financial statement can teach you. They know if they feed your ego, they can take your equity. And that's how the cycle repeats. Fame first, ownership never. Let's talk ego, because ego is a silent killer. Ego tells you, this is forever. I'll always be hot. I'll always have fans. But fame isn't love. Fame is attention. And attention doesn't stay loyal. Ego says, I don't need to learn business. My team will handle it. But your team eats off you, and nobody protects your money like you would. Ego whispers, I don't need to save. The next check is coming. But what happens when the next check doesn't come? The ego that inflated you is the same ego that will crush you, because when you tie your identity to people cheering, you collapse when the room goes silent. That's why humility is power. Humility isn't weakness. Humility is clarity. Keeps you learning, improving, controlling instead of being controlled. Another trap. Lifestyle momentum. Once you level up your lifestyle, the world expects you to stay there. The moment you show wealth, you are trapped by perception. If you downgrade, people assume you're broke. If you don't upgrade, they assume you fell off. But the smartest wealthy people do the opposite. They increase wealth before lifestyle. Meanwhile, artists increase lifestyle before wealth. You think you're winning because you look rich, but the real killers are quiet. They don't have to perform success. They own it. They don't care if you think they're rich because they know their investments will say it for them. You think silence is weakness, but silence is security. Silence is strategy. You don't owe anyone proof that you're winning. The loudest person in the room usually has the least to lose, or the most to hide. And here's another uncomfortable truth. Some rappers don't lose money, they never had it. The cars were rented, the houses were leased, the jewelry was loaned, the lifestyle was sponsored, the followers were bought, and the fame was algorithm-fed, not earned. You think somebody fell off, but the truth is they were never really on. They were just amplified by a system that needed a temporary star. The moment you become replaceable, the machine moves on. You weren't chosen, you were used. And if you don't understand that dynamic, you will chase validation from people and platforms that don't care if you eat tomorrow, as long as they can feed off you today. So what do? You build a foundation before you build an image. You create value deeper than visibility. You study money before you touch money. You look at contracts like they're weapons, because they are. You invest in education before you invest in jewelry. You pick mentors, not hype men. You choose financial advisors, not leeches. You surround yourself with people who challenge you, not people who cheer for your destruction. Because yes men don't want your success, they want your access. And the moment access dries up, so does loyalty. But here's where your perspective shifts. The fall of other artists doesn't need to make you fearful. It needs to make you strategic. Their mistakes become your map. Their losses become your leverage. You don't laugh at them, you learn from them. Because every collapsed career carries a lesson. Every fallen star is a warning. The game doesn't hate rappers, the game hates unprepared ones. And you won't be unprepared. Let's talk numbers for a second, because numbers don't care about ego. Say you get a $500,000 deal. After taxes, managers, lawyers, team, recording, mixing, videos, marketing, travel, clothes, jewelry, that $500,000 turns into maybe $80,000 of actual usable money. And that's if you're disciplined. But most aren't. Most spend the $500,000 as if they actually have it. And that's the trap. Labels give you a number, and your brain accepts it without accounting for reality. They tell you you're a millionaire before you're even stable. Meanwhile, the label recoups, earns off streams, masters, publishing, touring percentages, merch splits. You think you're the product, but you're the investment. And bad investments get cut. Good investments get scaled. Which one are you planning to be? Here's a rule you never forget. If someone gives you money, they expect more money back. The advance is not the prize. The advance is the test. The advance is the leash. The advance is the illusion. The real prize is ownership. The real win is keeping your masters, your publishing, your independence, your leverage. Ask yourself, would you rather look rich for 2 years, or be rich for 20? Would you rather flex for strangers, or build for your future family? Would you rather be famous today, or free forever? Because long-term thinking is a superpower in an industry built on impulse. When others rush to show they made it, you quietly build systems so you never lose it. That's how Jay-Z did it. How Master P did it. How Nipsey tried to teach it. How Russ does it. How 50 Cent did it after bankruptcy. Yes, bankruptcy didn't destroy him, because he had assets, equity, ownership, and strategy. You think losing money means you're done, but if you own things, you can lose temporarily and rebuild permanently. The people who really lose are the ones who never owned anything to begin with. And now you're starting to see the bigger picture. You don't fall when the money runs out. You fall when the knowledge runs out. Real success is boring. It's discipline. It's structure. It's learning contracts, taxes, intellectual property, publishing. It's saying no more than you say yes. It's building cash flow before lifestyle. It's investing so your money works harder than you do. Nobody claps for that. But everyone respects the results. The quiet millionaire never envies the loud one, but the loud one secretly envies the quiet one. The world measures success by attention. You will measure success by freedom. The goal is not to impress strangers. The goal is not to win arguments online. The goal is not to prove you're rich. The goal is to actually be rich, secure, disciplined, independent, untouchable by algorithms and unaffected by trends. You're not here to be temporary. You're here to be inevitable. You're not chasing a moment. You're building a life. You're not begging for a seat at the table. You're planning to own the building. So as we go forward, understand this. We're not just talking about rappers anymore. We're talking about you, Your mentality, your ambition, your future, your financial armor, your ability to survive success, not just achieve it. Because getting money isn't the hard part. Keeping it is. Fame comes fast. Discipline is the real currency. You must think like an owner, move like a strategist, act like a future millionaire even before the world sees it. You prepare now. You study now. You build now. Because the storm is coming, not for you to fear it, but so that you're the one who stands when others get washed away. And the deeper we go, the clearer it becomes. The next layer of this game, understanding contracts and ownership in detail, understanding what masters really are, what publishing really means, how labels structure deals to win even when you lose, how to negotiate, how to stay independent until leverage shifts, how to turn fame into enterprise, and how to build a fortress around your earnings so you never watch your kingdom crumble while the world laughs. We are just getting started, and your education begins now, because the next part isn't just going to expose the system, it's going to arm you to beat it. It's going to show you how power works, where money hides, and how you flip every disadvantage into dominance. You're not here to survive the industry. You're here to outgrow it. Own it instead of letting it own you. Because this is where the story shifts from warning to blueprint, from survival to strategy, from watching others fall to building yourself so high you cannot be shaken. You asked for an ending, so I'm going to close this properly. Not with fear, not with tragedy, but with clarity, control, and confidence. Because this isn't about rappers losing money anymore. This is about you winning long after the crowd finds someone else to clap for. So hear me clearly, because this is the part most people never learn. The music industry is temporary, but the mindset you build from understanding it can last forever. Fame fades. Value doesn't. Hype ends. Structure remains. You don't beat the game by playing faster. You beat it by playing smarter. Everybody wants the spotlight, but only the wise want the power to still eat when the lights turn off. And trust me, the lights always turn off. Even legends fade if they didn't plant seeds before the applause stopped echoing. So let's land this in your spirit. A label advance is not a milestone. It's a mortgage if you don't treat it right. A chain is not an asset. It's a distraction if you haven't built real wealth yet. Validation is not success. It's a drug that keeps you dependent on strangers. Friends who only call when you have money weren't friends. They were liabilities waiting to activate. Your followers don't guarantee your future. Your systems do. You don't win by looking rich. You win by becoming rich in silence. You don't win by flexing on people. You win by freeing yourself from needing to. You don't win by chasing the moment. You win by building a foundation that survives every moment. Because the truth. Longevity isn't sexy. Reading contracts isn't glamorous. Investing early isn't flashy. Discipline doesn't go viral. Silence rarely trends. But do you know what is sexy? Freedom. You know what's flashy? Ownership. You know what's powerful? Walking away from deals because you don't need them. You know what's legendary? Feeding your family for generations because you chose long-term over likes. The rappers who fall off didn't fall. They failed to build a place to land. You're building parachutes. You're building a landing pad. Hell, you're building a runway so long that even if you crash, you take off again. So here's your final truth, the final breath of this message. The world doesn't owe you fame, money, loyalty, applause, or respect. But it will give you opportunity. It will give you moments. And when that moment arrives, whether it's music, business, life, anything, you will be ready. Not loud, not desperate, not reckless. Ready. You will study before you sign. Invest before you impress. Build before you brag. Protect before you perform. Prepare before you celebrate. Because you're not here to be a cautionary tale. You're not here to be a clip people laugh at in a "what happened to him" video. You're not here to flame out. You're here to flame on and keep burning when everyone else dims out. This isn't the industry's story. It's yours. And your story doesn't end when the music stops. It begins when you decide you're not just going to chase success. You're going to outlast it. So go become the artist who didn't just rise. You stayed. Go become the person who didn't just touch money. You kept it. Go become the blueprint instead of the warning. Because the greatest flex in life will never be diamonds, cars, or applause. It's this sentence right here. I built something I can't lose. And when you can say that, not online, not for strangers, but quietly, to yourself, in your own house, living your own life on your own terms, you already won.
Put me at the motherfucking limelight, cause I really, really, really wanna blow pipes. Like yeah, yeah, like yeah, yeah. Lil' Bird really go, yeah, yeah, like yeah, yeah, like yeah, yeah. Lil' Bird really go,